The nigga Puff was like, yeah, like first he was amping him to get stout. Then he was like, yo, so when we gonna get the chance to, to kick it, like we could just hang out, nigga. We gotta kick it.
This is
Puff.
Okay.
He telling me we gotta kick it and shit. And he was like, yo, why don't we like go shopping or some shit? I mean, like I pay for it. And I was like, what the fuck this nigga just say? I got the fuck away from him because I was like, this nigga like the fucking. Wait. This nigga just tell me he'd take me shopping. And this is shit that goes on. But this is a little fruit. Puppy's a fruit pile.
I developed the paranoia. As soon as something don't feel right, I'm shooting whoever because I'm not getting shot again.
Puff was a little like, yo, I don't need this in my life, right?
Most people think the beef between 50 Cent and Diddy started over something small, like Diddy offering to take 50 shopping. But oh no, it went way deeper than that. 50 wasn't feeling that offer at all, and he made sure everyone knew it. During his interview on The Breakfast Club, 50 said straight up that Diddy says things that make him uncomfortable. When Diddy, also known as Brother Love, finally responded, his comeback was wild. Instead of denying it, he bizarrely claimed that 50 Cent actually loves him.
He doesn't even know what he's saying is like fruity. You know what I'm saying? Like, he said something fabulous and he goes, yo, but me and you, we ain't party. Like, we need to party. What is he talking about? What is he talking about? That's the kind of stuff. When people say that to me, I get a little uncomfortable. I get uncomfortable. Like he said something to me one time, a long time ago, at Chris Lighty's wedding. He told me he'd take me shopping. I looked at him like, what'd you just say? Let me move, man, before I do something. You're gonna make me mess up the wedding.
Oh, that's a nice gesture.
Let me get out of dude, take me. That's what a guy says to a girl. What you been getting at?
That only made things messier. And of course, 50 didn't hold back. Since then, 50's been on a mission, trolling Diddy nonstop. Whether he's throwing shade about the serious allegations against him or accusing him of having something to do with Tupac's death, 50 keeps his foot on the gas. But let's be real, Diddy's not the only one who's felt 50's wrath. He's gone after a whole list of people throughout his career, no one's safe. At one point, he even shot a funeral-themed video just to clown one of his rivals. Wild, right? But we'll get to that later. For now, let's clear one thing up. The 50 Cent and Diddy feud didn't start just because Diddy wanted to take him shopping. There was actually a time when they worked together, and Diddy even tried to sign him. 50 even claimed he wrote songs for Diddy. Diddy actually had a real chance to sign 50 Cent before Eminem ever stepped in. But according to the story, Diddy passed because he felt 50 was just too much of a problem to deal with. At the time, 50's reputation was already loud, messy, and impossible to control, and Diddy wasn't trying to babysit all that drama.
50 went to Diddy, we went to for Bad Boy. A lot of people don't know that. We had the meeting, and it was so crazy that Diddy didn't sign him. I know that was one of the biggest mistakes of Bad Boy. And the Preem situation, and a lot of people were scared of Preem. 50 was.
But what really lit the fuse reportedly happened around 2005. 50 wanted to sign Mace, so a serious meeting went down at a restaurant with Diddy, Jimmy Iovine, and 50 all at the table. They allegedly agreed on the contract terms. Everything seemed locked in, and 50 even started promoting Mace under G-Unit like the deal was done. Then boom, Diddy suddenly pulled out. That move rubbed 50 the wrong way, heavy. He later dropped a diss track called The Bomb, aimed straight at Diddy, and that tension never faded. That's why the beef is still alive today. Now for the next wild chapter, another rapper who caught 50's smoke. This time it was Fat Joe, and yes, 50 went next level with it. According to 50, the footage everyone saw was Fat Joe's funeral. Crazy stuff. These days they're cool, but back in the early 2000s, it was pure chaos. 50 claimed listening to Fat Joe's music sent him to the hospital with what he called noise poisoning. Fat Joe fired back, calling 50 a fake gangster, and on the intro to The Dark Side, he even said they'd throw the biggest party when Curtis dies. That's how intense this beef got. 50 responded by dropping a mixtape called Elephant in the Sand using a beach photo of Fat Joe as the cover so everyone knew exactly who he was clowning. Fat Joe clapped back with Gay Unit Volume 1 while 50 doubled down, calling Joe's music the worst thing to ever happen to hip-hop. This beef wasn't just talk, it cost real money. Fat Joe was close with Michael Jordan and almost became the first rapper tied to the Jordan brand. but MJ backed out, saying he didn't want any part of a rap beef. That decision reportedly cost Fat Joe around $20 million. Brutal. Because of all that drama, these days Fat Joe and 50 Cent are no longer beefing at all. Time passed, money healed wounds, and both sides cooled off. But don't get it twisted. 50 still has other rivalries that refuse to die, and one of them has been dragging on for over a decade now. 50 Cent and Rick Ross started clashing back in late 2008, and the reason was petty but explosive. Rick Ross and DJ Khaled claimed they didn't like how 50 looked at them at the BET Awards. Meanwhile, 50 laughed it off and said he doesn't even remember seeing them there at all. That right there set the tone. Pure disrespect. Rick Ross fired the first real shot on the song Mafia Music, throwing out heavy accusations toward 50. The claims were extreme, and 50 wasn't letting that slide for a second. Just 5 days later, he snapped back with, "Officer Ricky, go ahead, try me," aiming straight at Ross and even catching DJ Khaled in the crossfire. Then 50 went full troll mode. He launched a cartoon series called Officer Ricky and dropped a new episode every single Saturday. That's how serious and petty this got. Things escalated even more when 50 appeared in a video with Tia Kemp, who publicly spoke about Rick Ross's past as a correctional officer. That reveal shook the image Ross had built, and 50 kept pressing the issue non-stop. 50 even took things further by hanging out with Rick Ross's son at Floyd Mayweather's house, which the internet went crazy over. Some fans even joked that 50 had a better relationship there than with his own son, Marcus. Cold world. This beef is still alive today, with Rick Ross even offering to buy the G-Unit catalog. No peace treaty in sight. Now, the next rapper on this list is tied to the most dangerous beef of 50's life. This rivalry is one of the main reasons 50 was shot 9 times. The tension was real, and the stakes were deadly serious. There are different stories about how the 50 Cent and Ja Rule beef began. According to 50, it started after his friend Big Nose Troy allegedly took Ja Rule's chain. When Ja later saw 50 hanging around Troy, he believed 50 was involved too. And from there, everything spiraled out of control. But according to Ja Rule, the beef started way earlier, and his version tells a different story. Ja said the tension kicked off during the video shoot for Murder for Life, where he and the Murder Inc.'s crew allegedly gave 50 Cent the cold shoulder. No love, no respect, just straight ice. That moment planted the seed, and things went left fast. Not long after, things turned physical. Ja and 50 reportedly got into a fight, and during that chaos, 50 ended up taking Ja's chain. Then he doubled down by shooting a diss track video while wearing that very chain. That move alone turned the rivalry nuclear. Because of this ongoing beef, 50 was later stabbed by Black Child, who was signed to Murder Inc. at the time. The streets were tense, and the situation was getting real dangerous, real fast. Behind the scenes, Murder Inc. was also connected to Kenneth Supreme McGriff, a major figure in the street world back then. Supreme allegedly warned 50 to chill on J. Rule because money was being made, but 50 doesn't follow orders, never has, never will. After that, things escalated even more following the song Ghetto Quran, which stirred heavy controversy. Supreme reportedly took that as crossing the line, and not long after, 50 was shot by Daryl Homo Baum. Against all odds, 50 survived, and that moment changed everything. In the end, 50 Cent got the last laugh. He flipped pain into power, rebuilt himself, and turned into a full-blown TV mogul. Meanwhile, Ja Rule's career never reached the same level again. That's just how the story played out. After surviving all of that, 50 Cent didn't slow down, not even a little. Instead, he used that near-death moment as fuel and came back harder than ever. His debut album, Get Rich or Die Trying, didn't just succeed, it completely shook the industry. Every song felt like a warning shot, and the numbers spoke loud. While Ja Rule was still trying to recover from the fallout, 50 was stacking wins back to back. He dominated radio, ruled the streets, and turned G-Unit into a full-blown movement. From music to clothing lines to movies, 50 had his hands in everything, and the trolling never stopped either. 50 kept clowning Ja in interviews online and through slick comments that fans ate up every time. It wasn't just rap anymore, it was psychological warfare. What really hurt was how public the downfall became. Ja went from topping charts to defending himself in interviews. While 50 moved on like the beef never slowed him down, the power shift was impossible to ignore. This wasn't just about diss tracks. It was about survival, timing, and who knew how to play the long game. And when it comes to long games, 50 Cent proved he plays chess, not checkers. And coming up next, there's another name that landed on 50's long list of enemies, and this one shocked fans just as much as the rest. As 50 Cent's power kept growing, his list of enemies grew right along with it. Wherever he went, controversy followed, and he never backed down from smoke. If someone crossed him, even slightly, 50 made sure the whole world heard about it. Loudly. What made 50 different was how calculated he was. He didn't just respond with music. He attacked through interviews, visuals, humor, and straight-up disrespect. Every move felt intentional, like he was always 2 steps ahead. That's why so many of his rivals cracked under pressure. Some rappers tried to ignore him, others clapped back, but most couldn't survive the long game. 50 had money, influence, and an audience that loved watching him stir the pot. He turned beef into entertainment and controversy into cash. Even years later, his old rivalries still get talked about like they happened yesterday. That's how deep his impact runs. Whether you love him or hate him, one thing is clear. 50 Cent mastered the art of war in hip-hop. And trust, the list doesn't stop here. There are still more shocking feuds, betrayals, and wild moments connected to 50 that prove one thing: crossing him comes with a price. And even with all that history, 50 Cent still moves like he's in his prime. He never lets old beef die quietly. He keeps it buzzing with slick comments, social media posts, and subtle jabs that send the internet into a frenzy. Every post feels intentional, like he knows exactly which button to press. What really separates 50 from everyone else is how he controls the narrative. If there's drama, he spins it. If there's tension, he amplifies it. He doesn't wait for headlines, he creates them. That's why people stay watching, even years later. Rappers, executives, and even industry insiders have learned the hard way that 50 doesn't forget disrespect. One small issue can turn into a decade-long feud if he feels crossed. And once you're on his list, it's hard to ever shake that label. At this point, 50's beefs aren't just personal, they're part of his brand. Fans expect chaos, jokes, and ruthless honesty every time his name trends. Love him or hate him, one thing's clear: 50 Cent stays winning by keeping pressure on everyone around him. And when you really look at the full picture, it's clear. 50 Cent didn't just survive the chaos, he used it. Every beef, every setback, every near-fatal moment became another brick in the empire he built. He turned street pressure into chart-topping music, then flipped rap fame into movies, TV, and serious business power. While many of his rivals faded out, changed lanes, or never fully recovered, 50 kept leveling up. He went from being counted out to calling shots behind the scenes. From music mogul to TV boss, his evolution shocked the same industry that once tried to block him. The wild part? He never cleaned up his image or played nice to get there. He stayed blunt, petty, strategic, and unapologetic the entire time. That's why his story still gets talked about today. At the end of the day, love him or hate him, one thing can't be denied: 50 Cent mastered the art of turning beef into success. And that's exactly why his name still rings bells long after the smoke clears. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you smash that like button because it really helps the channel grow. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next wild story, deep dive, or shocking hip-hop moment. Turn on notifications too, because the next video is going to be crazier than this one.